You don't have to experience emotionally traumatic incidents such as getting abused when you were young to develop an error in your mind. It is when you skillfully avoid such shocking incidents and succeed in hiding your emotions that your mind creates a stronger structure of horror. Anxiety is fear of things yet to happen. This is the reason why it makes you feel better to be punished as soon as possible, if you are to be punished. When you don't know when you are going to be punished, you imagine about the punishment currently not happening, feel fear and reproduce it. You will be in more intense and repetitive pain even when you are not actually being punished. Your fear will grow stronger when you have strong and rigid faiths inside your mind. And when such faiths are related to moral rules, they will nurture your fear even more. People do not suffer from OCD because they are weak. Instead, they are suppressed because they have strong and rigid ego. Their OCD is a painful bypass created because of their ego. Many OCD patients used to be complimented of their intelligence in adolescence. They often say that they would have achieved greater success if they did not have OCD. That is actually true. They developed OCD because they are too intelligent and inflexible at the same time. They think that they are right and others are wrong. I will introduce an example for your understanding. Again, we will use the case of a person who has the violent, strong and explosive father. The father is a perfectionist who wants to control situations rigidly, regularly, and strictly. The mother is the victim of the household, who constantly suffers from the temperament of his father. This person feels anxious even though the father is never directly angry at him. It is because he feels the anxiety his mother feels. It also is because he never knows when he will become the victim of his father's anger. He has to meet his father's expectation not to feel the fear of being punished. The pressure to meet his father's expectation created this way becomes the starting point of his suppression. Such suppression can be about getting good grades, not making mistakes, not becoming a filthy person, improving his appearance, or always behaving well. Depending on the types of the father's expectation and his personality, the fixed ego he develops will change. No matter what, due to that fixed ego, he starts to regard some things as the things that must be done no matter what. It is because of these things he develops obsessive symptoms. Not to make mistakes, he has to check constantly. Not to get infected by the things he feels dirty, he has to beware of contaminants. He may obsess about his appearance, getting good grades, or achieving social successes. Then, the anxiety over not being able to meet his father's expectations surfaces. Failing to do so is the situation he is anxious about the most. This is why he tries to suppress and hide such situation deep inside his mind. This is the fear he never wants to reveal. From the point of a child, such fear equates to the fear of death, as it is closely related to his survival. It is the fear of being ostracized, the fear human beings try to avoid the most. This is why he tries to hide the fear he is going to feel when he fails to meet his parents' expectations. In place of the fear hidden, he finds the reasons for his failure. The reasons found become his OCD. To maintain his fixed ego, he found another form of pain that justifies his failure to meet his parents' expectations. With the made-up reasons, he justifies his failure. Human beings have strong tendency to connect cause and effect. Regardless of the rationality of the connection, the fact that the connection is made is more important. This is why he holds on to the faulty made-up reasons of his pain. Let's say that he has siblings who fight back and show their emotions. People as such, who are not afraid of revealing their emotions and fighting back, are unlikely to develop OCD. It is because they express their emotions. It is because they face the situation instead of hiding from it. However, people around them, including my patient, become more anxious because of them. It is because due to their disobedience and expressed emotions, the father is likely to become more angry and punish the family members more severely, aggravating family discord. Consequently, my patient starts to believe more strongly in the idea that bigger anger and fear are created when people express their emotions and thoughts. He solidifies his determination not to be like his siblings. As a result, his fixed ego stiffens one step further. Then, he starts to regard his obsessions, such as the idea that he should not be angry or reveal his emotions, get good grades, not get contaminated, not make friends with disorderly students or achieve social success, as moral rules that should be upheld. As moral rules are taken for granted, it becomes hard for him to question the rationality of these thoughts. Because of this delusion, inflexible faiths are created inside his mind. When he cannot uphold such faiths, he feels extreme fear. From my point of view, the fundamental problem lies in his inability to feel and understand such strong emotions. This is why I suggest my patients to try and release the emotions they have been suppressing one step at a time, to lower the pressure that have been triggering their obsessive symptoms. I talked about the examples of a person who had a violent and strict father many times in this book. Please be noted that I am not saying that such fathers are the one and only cause of people's OCD. The role mothers play is also important, because they are the ones who can empathize with their children's emotions. I have met many patients who did not get enough emotional support from their mothers. A mother in a violent household looks like a victim outwardly. However, it should be noted that she has the responsibility to protect herself as a grown-up. She also has to pay attention to, ask about, and emphasize with the emotions her child is feeling. If she doesn't do that, the child's problem intensifies. Occasionally, I also found my frozen emotions hidden underwater like glaciers. I didn't even imagine that I had such feelings inside me. However, they existed as a matter of fact, and I could feel truly free only after accepting and releasing them. By doing so, I regained the mindset that I used to have when I was young. It became possible for me to be inquisitive, enthusiastically feel and enjoy the moment. I told you earlier that uncertainty intensifies fear. The easiest way to make a person anxious is to tell him/her that she has to present in 5 minutes. Let's say that there is a woman who is afraid of public speaking. The anxiety she will feel after getting told of the exact time she has to present will be very different from the anxiety she will feel when she just knows the fact that she has to present. If she is uncertain about the time she has to present, it is likely that she will want to get over with it as soon as possible. It feels better to get punished as quickly as possible. When thinking about this mechanism, I cannot help but recall my childhood memories. I used to have a very strange faith when I was 13. It was an idea consisted with the sayings, pleasure follows pain and evil may sometimes turn out to be a blessing in disguise. So, waiting for good things to happen, I habitually hurt myself. Through psychological narrative analysis, I found the scene of me hitting a utility pole with my bare hands. I was trying to materialize my faith by inflicting pain on myself to make good things happen. I think I did so because of the anxiety created from my fear of punishments. I tried to punish myself as quickly as possible because the fear I was feeling was too intense. I was trying to escape from the fear by rationalizing that everything would be okay because I had already punished myself. I could also express my anger by doing so. It gave me a sense of freedom. It may look very odd from the outside, but a person with faulty and inflexible faiths can easily act like how I used to in the past. It is likely that I would have ended up developing a stronger type of self-harming obsession if I kept nurturing my faith. The obsessive thought of getting a paper cut on my eyes that I used to have was created in a similar way. It was created from the desire to punish myself to be free from the anxiety caused by my fear of getting punished. A lot of people reproach themselves and suffer self-hatred. It also is another form of punishing oneself. It goes the same as the OCD. Obsessive symptoms cause pain, but people have hard time breaking away from them. Beating a utility pole with bare hands caused pain too. It was another form of pain I chose in order to hide and avoid the intense pain I was feeling. My case is only an example. Everyone has his own reasons for choosing the forms of pain he is feeling, created based on his own psychological narratives. What you need to do is to feel safe by gaining the understanding that you do not have to feel anxious anymore. You will not get punished anymore. This is about realizing that the fear you have been feeling is imaginary. It is about physically accepting that the fear is real only inside your mind. Your true self will not change even if you get bad grades, make mistakes, get contaminated, spend time with bad people, become ugly or fall under suspicion. You have to feel that it is okay, instead of thinking that you will get into trouble. The trouble is to be obsessive. Obsessions make your fear come true. You have to realize that nothing will change even if you repeat your obsessive symptoms for 50 more years. You have to let your mind see the correct cause and effect. You have to experience that you don't have to think obsessively anymore. By doing so, you will meet your true self. You are in pain because you are lying to yourself. You will feel pain no more once you get to see the truth. By facing your fear, you will realize that your OCD is imaginary. When you find out the true causes of your anxiety, you will become less anxious. Our minds use our emotions as an energy source. The vessel that contains our energy is information. Our minds create that vessel in the form of symbol and language. You are uncertain because you do not know the reasons. If you understand why you are in pain, you will find out the reasons. When you know the true reason, it will be possible for you to make predictions. As a result, you will feel better. You will gain power to contain emotions in the vessel of language. You will have to check up on other people no more. Due to the understanding you have gained, the cycle of reproduction inside your mind that have been creating fear from fear will slow down. It is because you have learnt the right language, you will be able to use it to accept your emotions. You connected a wrong thing, your OCD, as the reason of your fear, because you didn't know the right words needed to accept it. Again, OCD is a faulty makeshift reason you found to hide and deal with emotions you could not accept in the past. The desire to connect cause and effect is created by your effort to contain your experiences within the experiential frame inside your mind. This is the reason why you connected them with the faulty reason, your OCD. It is a makeshift reason that you found to hide and relieve emotions that you couldn't accept. When you learn to verbalize your uncertainties by finding out the true reason, you will be able to accept them. I hope this book could be of help in your endeavor to contain your anxiety in the vessel of language. I hope you find and connect the true reason with your emotions and feel less anxious. By doing so, you will be able to turn off the faulty alarm of your subconscious mind which has been ringing.